Good morning, everybody. Well, at least the weather's getting a little nicer now, and what I'll do is I'll start making videos outside since the weather's nice. I think today's going to be like 75, but then it's going to drop down to maybe 50s and 60s the next week or so. There's something different. I have this Hubley. This is a Hubley model 1860. Okay. Model 1860 44 caliber. Now they do have the Hubley 45 that looks just like this, but this is the rarer model. This is the sought after model. Even though the Hubley 45 is sought after, this is more sought after because it's really rare to get. I mean, I've seen these things sell for $200 or more if they're in great condition and they're complete. Now this one needs a couple things. It hasn't really been shot, and if you really look at it, there's no gunpowder residue, and even in the cylinder, like inside where you put the caps, there's no cylinder or gunpowder residue in there. Sorry about that. I was eating a cookie. Sometimes your plastic grip caps here would break. I've seen a lot of those, particularly on the Colt 45 model. Everything is metal, or at least a cast aluminum. But the grips are of course plastic, but the screws are metal. It's pretty neat. It's actually really big. I think it's like 13-14 inches long, so it's a very big toy cap gun. I think if you had one of these back in the day, was it like the mid-50s or so, I think you had some money, or your parents had some money. But you were the talk of the town, let's put it that way. This particular one doesn't have the fake bullets where you load right here on the side, and I was going to flip it like a regular Colt, and you put your each shell bullets inside there. You can either do it from here or take the cylinder out and load them, and then there's a couple of videos on there that you could see how it's done, because I don't have any fake bullets for these. They're very expensive online. I think right now one set of 6 are selling for $50. So think about that, $50 for 6 little plastic cap bullets that are fake, that holds the little caps in them, little round glue caps. It's a lot of money. You could get reproduction ones, I think, for $20, $30 maybe, if you're lucky, for 6. But I don't have those. I think there was a spring on here, because this spring doesn't work anymore. I'm not sure, since this was the first model that came out, the model 1860. I'm not sure if there was a spring. I know the Colt 45 there was. So, but if there was, it's no longer working. The spring for the hammer is not working. This is not rotating the cylinder. Say it gets stuck. That's because the spring is broken inside. But they're available, the springs. I mean, the springs on eBay, I think, are like $10, for a tiny little spring. But at least you could still get it. I mean, $10 is, kind of a lot of money for a little tiny spring. But at least you could still get it. And then, if you know what you're doing, you could take this apart and just, replace the spring. The bottom lever to open up the barrel is missing on this one, and also the screw. So the screw I do have, but it's not the right one. And then you can see it resembles this screw right here, but this particular one is not long enough. But these you could get at the hardware store, and I could get one that's long enough. And what I could do is just, if I ever do decide to get the bottom lever, I'll just get a longer screw. The bottom lever is still available. There's only one guy that I know that sells it on eBay, and it costs about $18, $20. And it is a cast aluminum, but it's more chrome finish than this is, as you could see. Now, I don't know if this was a really chrome finished when it was purchased. It might have been, but I think through the years it just discolored, like a coloration on it. It's kind of faded. I'm not quite sure, but I know the Colt 45s with the Hubleys, they were more of a chrome finish. But either way, if I feel like it, I might just purchase it and then maybe this spring. But you're talking $20 for the lever, and the spring $10, and if there was a spring here, that's probably another $10. So you're talking $40 just for 3 parts, and that's not even including that you need the bullets to shoot the caps. So $30 plus another $30 to $50 for those. So you're talking almost $80 to $100 just to get this thing in complete preservative condition and working. It might be worth it because, like I said, I've seen these sell for $200. I think I picked this one up a long time ago. Pretty cheap, pretty inexpensive. And to buy all those parts, I actually think it might, be worth it. So, and also to preserve it, I mean, you don't want to just sit there and keep this. If you could buy these parts now for this particular pistol, you might not ever buy it in the future, and that might be 6 months from now or a year, and it'll be obsolete, and then all you have is this, so. But it's a lot of money, $80 to $100 to just get a toy cap gun, at least somewhat together, and who knows. So when you have the lever on here, so the lever actually snaps up in the front here, just like a regular 1860 Civil War pistol, Remington, and you just pull it down. So when it pulls down, it brings this mechanism here. Let me just put the screwdriver in there. So it brings that, and it pushes that like that. See, there's a spring inside. And then what you do, see, I'm holding it with a screwdriver. You take the barrel and you just turn it. See how I just turned it like that? So it opens it up, and then you could just slide your cylinder off. See? And so this is actually like swivels back and forth. So this pin has a spring, needs a little bit of oil, and goes right in the center of the cylinder to hold the cylinder on. Okay? So very simple. It's all cast again, like I said. Here's the spring that's broken right there. See it? Where my screwdriver is. But I can't see where the lever spring is. I don't know if there was one on here for this model. I can't really see any areas in here where that would pertain for this thing to spring back. Because I do notice on some of the videos online that these do spring back on the Colt 45, but there's no disassembly video on how to put any of these springs in. I think I could figure out how to do this spring. That's pretty self-explanatory there. And that's for your hammer, and I'm not quite sure how the cylinder rotates. Like each time you shoot it, I don't know what rotates the cylinder. So maybe this particular model you have to rotate it individually. I'm not sure, by hand. So there you go. So then you just simply put your cylinder back on, and what I'll do is I'll just turn this. Gotta be careful because it needs a little oil, and then it just snaps into the center hole. Remember, with the pin, and then it's back on there. But see, as I pull this back, of course the spring's broken, but the cylinder is not turning. So, see, it's not even working at all. Yeah. All right. But you did see it was very, very clean. There's no residue on it or anything. And the grips are almost perfect. There's one little tiny scratch right there. Right above that screw, you could see like a little scratch. But it's not cracked. And the parts, like even just getting the parts, like I said, are expensive if you can get them. But, the grips sell for like $40. The hammer sells for $20, $30. The cylinder sells for like $50 or $40 or whatever it is. Trigger, even this piece. So, all right, there you go. If I ever get the pieces together in 80 to 100 bucks, I'll show you the completion of this thing. And what I would do, if I bought the new lever, the bottom lever, I would kind of sand it down a little bit to get it to this type of finish, because you don't want the shiny chrome finish at the bottom lever. Even though that if I ever do decide to get rid of it, I would have to say that was a replacement. You know, I'm not going to lie to somebody and say that's original. But either way, I don't think it'll make a difference. I did look at the bottom lever that's being sold now. The guy has like 10 of them. They're new old stock. I don't know if it has the writing on that it says Hubley and the 44 caliber. I don't even think it has that. It might even just be plain. So you're definitely not going to get the original. But at least it's going to be there, you know. And the only other big expense was the bullets, you know. All right, there you go. The Hubley model 1860 44 caliber. Pretty cool, huh? I grew up with a lot of these. I didn't have this one, but I grew up with a lot of Western cap guns in my day, like in the late 60s, early 70s. And it was just a lot of fun. You know, you had your holsters, and it was just a cool time. Today, kind of sucks. You know, actually, it does suck, you know. I'm not going to say kind of suck, because it absolutely sucks. So, it's a shame these new generation kids, they just don't have fun. They have fun on their computers and phones. That's it. All right. Just thought I'd make this video, and yeah, it's different, but let's see, you could see something that's kind of rare, that doesn't come up that often. So enjoy your new weather, and hopefully it's going to be warm in your area. And like I said, I'll go outside soon and start making some different videos. Take care.